Time for a conversation with our Indiana County Commissioners who join us on the line this morning. Commissioner Mike Keith, Commissioner Shireen Hess, Commissioner Robin Gorman joining us. Morning, everybody.
Good morning, Todd.
Conversation brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Okay, so folks, so I'll throw it out to you this morning. We talked with Dr. Richard Neff about a half an hour ago, for the Chief Medical Officer at IRMC. He said that as we consider vaccines and their availability here in Indiana County, and as we anticipate eventually getting to the point where we have plenty for everybody, we're talking with Tom Stutzman about maybe expanding to beyond just the KCAC. And you folks are directly involved in that, right?
Yeah, Todd. Ironically, we just talked with Tom Stutzman and Dr. Neff on Friday, and we talked about the application that he spoke about with regard to applying so that we could be a site with FEMA and PEMA. And we were just talking among ourselves before you came on, and we're so impressed with Dr. Neff, and he's so clear and easy to communicate and work with. The hospital, IRMC, set the tone with the model that they already have that they're using just for the hospital at this point at the KCAC. But it truly was a model that he could provide to FEMA/PEMA and basically say with Tom Stutzman and our director, with all the past experience of forming nodes and satellites through other crises, we have a very good model, and we feel very encouraged going forward with this.
Yeah, about the only fly in the ointment is waiting for the vaccine to get here. And as he said, and I'm sure as you know and can be frustrated along with the rest of us, it's when does it ever come? And we just have to wait until the state gets it to us.
Yeah, and that truly, among all of us, and we talk often, that's the only element of any of it. We are truly ready. We do question if we got a lot of vaccine all at one time, the capacity of manpower, just because we haven't had to do that yet. But it really is about the holdup with just getting vaccines themselves.
Yeah. Commissioner Hess, you were going to say something?
Oh, just that, and with the weather now, that just throws another layer of complication on it. So, once it's here, as we said, it's going to happen. Just getting through all the rough spots as we get there. So everyone stay patient.
Jump through the hoops, and you'll eventually get to where you're going.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's talk. Open up the field here for everybody to get involved. I don't know who wants to speak first. But county issues on the table, what's going on?
Well, I actually like to go ahead and roll out the Act 1 of 2021 that Senator Pittman has actually put into play, and that is the Hospitality Industry Recovery Program that has been introduced to the Commonwealth, and Indiana County is part of that, and we were awarded $952,241 to put towards the hospitality industry here in the county. So that is definitely a good thing for the hospitality industry. Applications and information and everything has been put out there by Director Stauffer. This was something that came like real quick, and he was able to put it into play, and Byron put a lot of effort into this thing to make sure, because of the turnaround back to getting this approved and getting the money to the county was like 24 hours. So it was pretty quick, but again, going through the whole process, the turnaround, just like the CARES funding, getting it expended is also pretty quick. So the information is being distributed out there to the county, and we're pretty excited about it, that we're going to be able to put the money out there for those people.
Have some pretty anxious folks who need that money in order to keep their businesses alive, don't we?
Yes.
They really do. They really do. And after the rent relief and mortgage relief monies really went sour, the counties were just desperate for some dollars to get into our local economy. So we are very thankful that this $145 million came from the state. We're almost $1 million for us, and that's nothing to sneeze at. So we're looking forward to getting that into the local economies here in the county.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, who else and what else is on the table this morning with our county commissioners?
Yeah, I just want to ditto what my colleague said, Todd, about the Hospitality Industry Recovery Act. I would like to change the topic to broadband, if I may, and
Please.
let folks know we continue to work on the efforts to expand our broadband across the county. I think the commissioners are looking at doing a press conference near the end of the month or perhaps the first part of March. Maybe we'll try and bring some spring goodness into play. But we really want to do a press conference with regard to what has been done that, in essence, has been completed in what we call LIT in the lingo, and then the middle mile, or what would be third, using vendors to get others hooked up, and then what ultimately, in essence, gets finished that hasn't been done yet or is in the works. So we just want to provide our community with an update, so we'll be sure and let you and everyone know when that press conference will be held. But it continues to be underway, and we continue to work that issue knowing that it's never going to go away.
Yeah, well, that's one of the interesting things about that whole thing. And we talked with Bob Pollock from the Extension about how Extension is involved in some of this and how Penn State Extension, working with folks like REA, is there are a number of people who are willing to step in and be players in this, but there are so many complicated issues that have to be resolved in order to, eliminate redundancy and make the most efficient use of funds that are available, and infrastructure is right there at the top of that list.
Well, that's correct, Todd. And again, like you said, the funding is the major player of this whole thing. As the county right now continues to play out, working from the main structure and actually getting individual residents hooked up, that will continue. And then again, we've applied for other funding, and we're going to continue. We'll be committed to the broadband situation throughout the county, and working with other partners, to make sure that we can roll this out to the best effort we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so broadband is another. We've talked coronavirus vaccine and broadband. Other things on the table this morning.
Todd, one thing I want to mention that we're kind of up against, and that is the CARES revolving loan fund program. Mm-hmm. This was money that was obtained, again, through Director Stauffer and Angela at the planning office. It's a loan, and the loan is at 0%. And that, again, that's another tool that is afforded to businesses, and it goes over a span of 60 months. But this is one of those things that a lot of other things played into it, and businesses were kind of taking advantage of those other things. But we're still making this available, and it's a little over $1 million is still available for those businesses. But we don't want to get to the situation, and that's where we're kind of worried about, that this might be called back in if businesses aren't able to use it. And but just want to get it out there. It's still available, and you can contact the planning office for all the information needed.
So the funds are there for businesses, but if businesses don't step up and take advantage of that, then those funds could go away?
It's possible.
Yeah, okay. Well,
they are, Todd, and what's really good about the Act 1 and the grant funds coming in, particularly for the small businesses, is obviously that is one that does not to be paid back. So, whether it's $5,000 or up to $50,000, if they can claim lost revenues eligible toward operating expenses that they lost, they do not have to pay that back. And that was the reluctance about the revolving loan funds was, obviously folks did not want to dig their hole deeper and have to pay a loan back that they weren't sure of the uncertainty of their future that they might be able to. So Mike is right. With the funds and starting back up, and if people see their way clearly, again, those funds are there at 0% interest, and they need to take advantage of it if they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have people who are ready to help businesses evaluate, which works better for them. So businesses just need to, give us a call, and we will do our very best to get you pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, these people put so much money into their businesses. They put their whole lives, their families into their businesses, and to see them go away would be a terrible, terrible thing. So working hard, county commissioners and everybody else, it seems, to try to keep them afloat and to make them strong again. All right, we're talking with our Indiana.
Todd?
Yes.
Todd, before we wrap up this morning, I just want to make mention to everyone that the testing is underway at the pop-up testing at the mall parking lot. We'll be there through the 17th, so please take advantage of that. Again, there's no fee, no questions asked, well, a few, but in essence, you can get tested at the mall parking lot through the 17th. We had 46 participants on the 13th, and we had 23 on the 14th so far. So testing is low, and certainly we encourage anyone, if you want to get a test, it's right there for them.
Yeah.
Yep, literally 10 minutes is all it takes.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is some people are reluctant to do it, and for any number of reasons. But for those who are curious about it, that's certainly an advantage to take advantage of something like that. Okay. Anything else folks want to share?
Just that we continue to keep working
our conversations with you.
Yep. Yeah. So things are moving forward, and we appreciate all the folks in the county, our partners, for moving forward with us.
All right. So we will look forward to the announcement of this news conference where we'll be talking about broadband. And you say later this month, perhaps?
Yeah, we're shooting for end of the month or 1st of March, somewhere in that time frame.
Terrific news. All right. Thanks so much to all of you for joining us here this morning on Indiana in the Morning.
Thanks, Todd.
All right. Bye now.
Thank you.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160 FM and AM 1160